The Kripe family has been in this community since 1896.
It's a small community, and everybody pretty much knows everyone.
In 2008, Whitmore Ace Hardware employed a young lady named Melissa Mikulowski.
Her laugh was contagious, and her smile was all around big and perky.
She was the light of that store.
This is not an affluent community. Braidwood and Wilmington are, hardworking people, and students work long hours to earn money to go to prom.
Prom is not to be taken for granted, and it's a rite of passage, but these kids had to work for this rite of passage.
And Melissa was really worried about not having enough money to go to prom.
As a parent, you couldn't imagine that phone call, ever.
It was snowing out that night, and it just was cold, so like ice and stuff on the road.
She had a couple of her friends with her, and she had lost control.
And they just came around a curve that was icy, and so when they turned, they went in the other lane, and a truck just didn't stop and just hit them.
She never regained consciousness. We had to let her die.
She was such a good kid. And she was thankful for everything she had, and she didn't have much.
She was 18 for 2 days. She turned 18 on December 7th, and her accident was on the 9th. And she passed on the 10th, like 4:15 in the morning.
I was stunned because nobody in our company has ever passed while they've worked with us.
Because it's hard to make sense of a loss of someone who's 18 years old that has so much left to give and so much life and so much positivity that she's just gone.
We also realized right away that when the funeral happens, the employees all need to be there.
I think there was a huge lesson for both Mike and I when we went to the wake.
We all took the Ace trucks to the funeral, and we all sat up front. And
Melissa's Ace hoodie was hanging next to the casket. And I think it was eye-opening for both him and I to realize sometimes we don't realize how important these jobs are to these kids.
The thing that happens in our community is that somebody will walk up to you from town and say, "Hello, how you doing?" And they sit there and they watch your face. They want to know how you're doing. They're waiting for an answer.
We kind of always felt like there's something. We have to do something. We have to do something to honor her.
you look forward to things in life, and hers was to go to prom. So she got this job, and she just wanted to have a dress like everybody else.
I had already, with my students, started a prom dress resale the year before.
We thought, what a better way to honor her than make sure every little girl has a dress to go to prom with.
They asked me about it. Would I want them to do it? I'm thinking, thought about it. Well, yeah.
And we offered, myself and my students, to host it at Reed Custer High School.
Now, us being hardware guys, we were thinking, how's that going to work? How can we even help? I mean, we have no experience with prom dresses.
It sounds like a crazy idea to collect prom dresses in a hardware store of all places, but it was definitely a special thing for us to do.
We put up racks. We had, at the time, 4 stores, and the other stores were like, I'm in.
They stepped up. They put up racks. They asked all their friends. They asked all their high school kids, like, turn in your prom dresses after prom.
Started off in a little cooking room in the high school, and we're hanging garbage bags up for girls to have little changing areas.
And they came. The girls came in, tried on dresses.
Everybody was kind of bumping into each other. Like, they had it nicely organized, like, here's your size, this size, that size.
We had makeshift dressing rooms, and we had a ball.
We did the first year, and I thought that'll be it. It was a 1-year deal. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, it kept on going.
Now, we're collecting dresses for months, and we're collecting thousands of dresses.
This year we had gotten so large we had to move to a park district.
The day of the event is absolutely crazy.
We had heard to come a little early.
There's usually 100 to 150 girls waiting to kind of storm in.
And we were literally sharing blankets, wrapping around with other moms, other kids, laughing.
It's like the biggest party you've ever seen.
Watch all of those girls come in, and you see the look on their face when they see just these endless rows of dresses and everything that's set up here for them.
There's jewelry and there's shoes.
We have professional hairdressers that come to the event that day. And it's amazing to see how many girls get up on stage and get their hair and their makeup done professionally for the first time ever.
I truly do love my job, but this is what it's all about. This feeling, watching little girls hug each other because they've found their dress.
I don't know, I just think it's amazing how something that was so tragic can turn into something so positive.
She goes to prom every year in my eyes. Every year I look at these dresses and say, okay, here you go, here's your dress this year.
Sometimes the ideas that you think might be just, you know, a 1 year or 2 year thing could turn into something amazing.
We hung 1,937 dresses this year, and we have dressed over 2,090 girls for prom.
You know, and the funny part of it is, not a single person that we asked to help and to do something like to provide prom dresses or to do the hairdos or do makeup for the kids, not a single person thought twice before saying yes.
And I think that's just a level that I'm so proud of. As a company, we say yes before we say no.
It's the way it's supposed to be, isn't it?